The Toyota Prius is the world's most famous hybrid car. It's been around since about 97. They've sold over 5 million worldwide. And this is the new 5th generation model. It's more powerful than before, it's more efficient, and it's also far prettier. I'd even go as far to call this new Prius sexy. Never thought I'd hear myself saying that about a Toyota Prius. It goes on sale price from about €45,900. So it's more expensive to buy than before, but is it the best hybrid car you can buy? Gets the new face of Toyota, just like the BZ4X and the upcoming C-HR. So you've got these thin LED headlights, and they call this their hammerhead design motif as well. And this is Tokyo Gold, which I think is a must-have for the new Prius. This new Prius is a little bit shorter than the model it replaces, but the wheelbase is longer. That's the distance between the front and the back wheels. The design has been inspired by the flow of air apparently. It's very sleek, it's very aerodynamic, and you also get these 19-inch alloy wheels as standard as well, and some gloss black around those wheel arches. Those rear door handles are hidden, gives it more of a coupe-like look. And it's completely different around the back as well, much more elegant, much more graceful. You've got full width light bar, and there's the Toyota badge and Prius spelled out across there. Now when it comes to boot space, it's 284 litres, so it's quite shallow, but it does go back a good deal as well, and there's a teeny bit of underfloor storage, but it's not massive. You can remove that as well, and you can actually fold it, and you get a powered tailgate as standard. So what's this new Prius plug-in hybrid like to drive? Well, it's a new generation of Toyota hybrid and a new generation of Toyota plug-in hybrid technology as well, because in Ireland it's now exclusively available as a plug-in hybrid. We're not getting the standard hybrid version as we did before. At its heart, there's a 2-litre petrol engine, and that used to be 1.8. So there's more power than before. It's up from 122 to 223 horsepower. 0 to 100 is 6.8 seconds. But this is not a sports car. It really doesn't reward you for any sort of enthusiastic driving, because that eCVT transmission just makes a lot of noise if you start using your right foot very heavily on the accelerator. It just protests quite a bit. It certainly rewards you more if you drive at a more relaxed pace, as tends to be quite typical in Toyota hybrid cars. And then you get this incredible efficiency. So my average is about 4.5 litres per 100 kilometres without trying too hard at all. And because it's plug-in hybrid, you can drive it electric for up to about 71 kilometres as well, which is great. And when it comes to charging, it'll take about 4 hours from a wall box at home, or 6 hours from a normal socket. It's got a 3.3 kilowatt onboard AC charger. There are a number of different driving modes. There's a sport mode, but again, it just doesn't do this car justice at all. It's not a car that really you want to be driving too aggressively or enthusiastically. So it's still a Prius in that way. It's all about efficiency, and that's fine. It doesn't have to be a sports car. I think because it looks so good, you might think it's really going to be very fun and engaging to drive, but not really, I would say. Now the handling is very good. So it's built on Toyota's 2nd generation GAC platform of the Toyota New Global Architecture. So it feels very natural. The steering is nice and fluid. It's a nicely balanced car, handles very well. It moves through corners very nicely with a real little bit of elegance as well. But that's all at a gentle pace. If you start to try and accelerate in and out of corners quickly, it's just not designed for that at all. The CVT just makes far too much noise for that to be pleasant at all. It's all about efficiency, and they've lowered the CO2 emissions for this new generation as well. Motor tax is about €140 per year. There's also a B mode, so that increases the amount of regenerative braking, and there's actually 3 different strengths of that now as well in this new generation Prius. The interior is quite different from the previous version of the Prius. It's more conventional and logically laid out. The previous version was quite futuristic in its design. They've definitely toned it down a little bit here, and I think it's all the better. It feels quite mature and upmarket. The speedometer, for example, is now behind the steering wheel. I think that's the best place for it. And of course you get Toyota's latest touchscreen infotainment as well, with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. It's got over-the-air updates and voice control as well. The material quality is generally good in what's in front of you. There's a little bit of ambient lighting and this metal effect in the dash. But there are more harder plastics here in the doors and also down here. So considering the price point of the vehicle, I think I'd like to see more soft touch materials in here. But you do get these synthetic leather upholstered seats as standard across the range. It's a very well equipped car. You've got heated and ventilated front seats, and there's also a parking camera. The only thing I'm not so keen on really with the car is there's quite a lot of road noise, particularly at high speeds on the motorway. In terms of comfort, it covers the road well, particularly Irish roads with all their different surfaces. Just gets caught out a little bit by any joints in the tarmac or rougher surfaces. You do feel that, but generally it's comfortable for the most part, I would say. There's loads of legroom in the back of the Prius, and you've also got a flat space here for the middle seat passenger. There's an armrest as well with cup holders, but I think roof space or headroom could get tight if you had a very tall passenger back here because of that lowered roof line. You've got USB-C ports, there's pockets in there's only pockets in one of the seats, and there's very small door bends as well. The Prius is so iconic. For a long time, if you said hybrid, people would think about a Toyota Prius. Now, some of the other brands have caught up on hybrid technology since then, but in terms of the efficiency, Toyota just does that really, really well. Now, it's not the most rewarding to drive if you try and drive it quickly. If you're on and off that accelerator pedal, it just gets a little bit noisy with the ECVT. But if you're looking for a very efficient hybrid car that looks great, then this is definitely worth looking at. If you're looking for something a bit more practical, Toyota does make some other very good hybrid cars. This does feel a little bit compromised with the boot space, and also the headroom in the back as well does feel like it could get very tight there. But otherwise, the tech on board, very well equipped car. Toyota Ireland are just bringing in one trim level, so it gets all the gear that you want. And you get to drive one of the world's most iconic cars, and it's never looked better. That's just a quick look at the Toyota Prius plug-in hybrid. You can read my full review of this car over on changinglanes.ie, and I left the link in the description below the video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.